Hi guys, good morning. This is Teacher Noy. Once again, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Gel Vlog. Now I'm doing my voiceover because I don't want to be copyright of the music played by our neighbors. It's been a long time that I didn't touch this one or even doing the repotting on this plant because I always believe on the suggestion of the seller that do not repot for 1 year if you can resist about your excitement because the plant needs to adopt the environment. Yeah, I really believe on it because if you're going to repot this one right after you buy your plants, there is a possibility that your plants will die, knowing that the adoption of environment really important or significant to the growing period of the plant. That's what we call acclimation in science. You need to let the plant to adapt first the environment because I have a lot of plants that really die, really bid goodbye here in my garden. This is my second purchase, potted jungle fever, the variegated type. So today I'll be propagating this one and also I'll be sharing my care and tips. If you are ready and new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more updates about the videos that I'm going to upload only here in Gel Vlog. Before I'll do my propagation of my jungle fever philodendron, I just want to visit this potted philodendrons here that I cut few days. Some of the leaves have turned in different colors. Some were observed as yellowish and the other one are yellow green. I don't know what happened on this, but this orange marmalade is really sensitive in propagation. But some of these philodendrons are in good condition, unlike that orange marmalade philodendron. I'm little bit worried on this green cardinal philodendron. This is very lush before, but when I propagated this one, few leaves are slowly dying. So this is also one of the sensitive philodendrons in propagation. Before I'm going to do the propagation of the philodendron jungle fever, I cannot live without coffee. I can still remember that this mug is given to me by my student during the Christmas day. Kasi sabi nila, anong gift sir ang gusto mo? Sabi ko, anything, kahit isang ballpen, isang lapis, I'm happy. But I am happier if may magbigay sa akin ng mug. It's been 1 year of stay here in my garden. I uploaded my first purchase of jungle fever last week. So that was the first one that I bought in the Ogam Garden in Mati City. So this is my second purchase still in Ogam Garden in Mati. So it's time to propagate because I have seen that leaves attach in the bottom part almost 3 inches really starting to change the color. It became yellow green. Eventually some of the leaves here have fallen, so it's my time to propagate my jungle fever because it has 15 leaves attached on the node, so it's really a good indication that time to harvest and to produce another pop on this philodendron. This is one of the expensive philodendrons that I bought in the market. Once the plant is variegated, the price is really high. Aside from that, this philodendron is a basal philodendron which means it is a slow grower philodendron. So in cutting, let us be reminded of taking care of the air roots. As we all know that aerial roots are really the source of giving or supporting the life of the top cut. Aside from air roots, I'm also looking for the matured node of the philodendron. You have to look for the brown or the gray color of the node. That is where you are going to start cutting the top cut. That is one thing that you need to consider in cutting the top cut. Do not start cutting in the green color, so that is a not matured node of the philodendron. There is a possibility that your top cut or the cut of the node that you're going to plant will not survive. It will really die naturally. The third one I'm looking for is the number of leaves attached to the top cut and the mother plants. We should avoid overcutting the mother plant or even the top cut because leaves are also playing a vital role in developing the new shoots or even the new leaf to unfurl because it will help also in the processing of the food of the plant through photosynthesis. So, I am done cutting my jungle fever philodendron. This is a variegated one, but the variegation is not really visible on each leaf because they really require high maintenance. But it's really the nature of the variegated plants to really return into an original color of the leaves, and that is a green one. I'm not worrying about the variegation if it is not half or full that can be seen on its leaf. As long as my plant, my philodendron is alive, I'm okay for that. I'm washing the wounded part, both mother plant and the top cut, because this time I'll be starting putting about the aloe vera on the wounded part where I started cutting. Aloe vera helps the plants to recover easily, and the second one, it will help also the plant to do the fast rooting process. So that is my technique that I'm applying, and every time I'm cutting my philodendrons or the other plants that I have here in my garden. Moreover, it will help also the plant where you start cutting not to rot, and it will prevent also from the dwelling of the fungus of your plant. Those are the benefits of aloe vera that can give to the cut part of your propagated philodendron. Now I'll start my propagation. For the soil composition, I just used the loam soil that I have here in my garden. I mixed it with the dried eggshells and the banana peel. Those are the things that I'm always incorporating to the mixture of my medium that I'm using in my propagation because that is really an organic fertilizer. I didn't use inorganic fertilizer for my plants. I'm afraid that maybe if I'm going to use the inorganic fertilizer, my plants will be gone. So it's my approach also to maintain the organic practice in growing my plants. So I'll be using a white pot since this philodendron is having a green color of the leaves. So it's a perfect combination to use white pot. This is also my trick for the air roots. I'm arranging it in a circular position because I don't want them to go out in the pot. I will really arrange it in a circular position and cover it with some amount of soil, so that is also a perfect way that the aerial roots are no longer visible. And it is also my practice to cover all the aerial roots and doing my propagation of the top cut of all philodendrons that I have here. My purpose of covering the aerial roots and every time I'm doing my propagation because I just want the aerial roots to adopt the new beginning of life. Because when it is covered, the roots will feel the humidity and they can start developing a new roots in order to support also for the growing well of the top cut. There are so many factors affecting on the covering of the air roots in doing the propagation. So those are the things that I can share to you based on my experience. I'm leaving the space on the upper part of the pot because I really wanted to see this plant look healthy and presentable. For the watering system for the new propagation, just water it twice a week when it is sunny day. And for rainy season, do not expose your newly propagated plant to too much rain because it can experience a root rotting on the cut part, on the bottom part. Try to provide shade for the newly propagated philodendron like this. Much better you have to secure it to both a rainy or sunny season, because when you overexpose it to the sunlight, it can also damage a lot of leaves, so you have to put it in a shaded area. While for the rainy season, it's the same thing that you are going to do for your newly propagated philodendron. You have to try to provide a shade for your plant in order not to get a lot of the water coming from the rain, because it can damage also the plant. It is further believed of some experts in growing the plants that too much is bad. Really, it will give a bad effect to your plants. Anything that is too much. This end of my gardening episode. Once again, this is Noy. Thank you for always supporting my YouTube channel. See you the next gardening episode only here in Gel Vlog.